tonight on Size Eyes on the Skies.
Well, a pleasant good evening to everyone. Let's take a live look outside right now. This is I-35 at Clear Lake. You can see the snow on the ground. The sun was up earlier. Coming up, I'll show you when those clouds will return and when our next snow chance will arrive.
Plus, Trey also has your national forecast tonight. All that and more as this Thursday, February 20th edition of Size Eyes on the Skies starts right now.
Live from Studio 171 in Ames, Iowa, the Iowa State Meteorology Department team of meteorologists brings you the latest weather from around the country and out your front door. Iowa State's longest running television program and the only live weather broadcast on campus starts right now. This is Size Eyes on the Skies.
Welcome back to Size Eyes. I'm now joined by Trey. Trey, it is a cold one out there today.
Yeah, just like last Thursday. I think we're getting in this pattern.
We're Thursday cursed. I think every Thursday from here on out is going to be terrible weather. I'm just convinced.
Well, hopefully that curse won't move to the weekend because we do have a pretty nice weekend coming up this weekend.
I did notice it. Do you think we'll break into the 50s this weekend? Or
I
what
do.
you
think especially down to the southwest.
Yeah,
we'll
have a good chance with that one. I'm hoping so because this has just been a miserable couple of days here.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll have to see what happens.
Well, we'll see what happens here in just a moment. And let's first start out with a look at our Iowa DOT camera. This is at I-35 in Clear Lake. You can see northern Iowa is covered up with the snow. It's been a snowy, cold week, as we've been talking about earlier. Let's take a look now at our current satellite and radar picture across the state. The good news is, even though it's been cold today, most of the clouds have cleared out, and we are in a pretty clear pattern. Coming up, I'll show you when those clouds will return and when our snow chances will also return. But first, a big weekend warm-up is on the way. All that and more coming up next.
Thanks, Trey. And now it's time for tonight's weather story. On this day in 1997, unusually heavy rain fell across about the southeastern third of Iowa from February 20th to the 21st, with the highest amounts occurring in southeast from a line from Lamoni to Clinton. Some of the highest two-day rainfall accumulation included 2.56 inches at Wapello, 2.62 inches at Donaldson, and 3.40 inches at Keokuk. And now here's Trey with a look at what's going on around the country. Trey?
Well, across the country this evening, we're going to first start out with a look at our temperatures across central Iowa. Here we go. Now here's a look at our temperatures across the nation. You can see, as we talked about earlier in the show, much of the nation is dominated right now in this very cold pattern. You can see from the Rockies all the way to the East Coast, and that cold is even reaching all the way down to the Gulf Coast. Coming up, I'll talk more about when this cold will leave and who's seeing rain and snow this evening. All that and more in your national forecast right after this.
Welcome back to Size Eyes. Now here's Trey with a look at what's happening around the nation. Trey?
Across the nation this evening, we are looking at pretty cold conditions across most of the nation. Let's first start out with a look at our headlines this evening. First, we're going to be talking about the Mississippi and Alabama River flooding. As we've been seeing over the last several days, these areas have been just getting quite a lot of heavy rain. And then you can see we have a pleasant weekend that is in store for most. So once we get all that flooding concerns out, and then it will turn active and cold as we head into next week. So enjoy this weekend if you want to get out and about. Let's take a look right now at the satellite and radar picture across the area this evening. You can see a large surface high pressure filtering in from Canada this evening across the Midwest United States. That is bringing in that cold Canadian air all the way down to the Gulf Coast. You can see that cold air filtering in all the way behind this front. And then this is the system right here that has been causing us quite a few problems over the last several days with regards to river flooding. You can see even some rain and snow back across portions of North Carolina this evening, and all that rain has led to some river flooding, as we will be talking about as we get down to the Gulf Coast. So let's take a look now and get a little bit closer in on the watches and warnings. You can see these counties here shaded in green. Those green areas, those green shadings are the areas under those river flood warnings. And some of the rivers that are really problematic right now do include the Mississippi River and then the Pearl River here just to the north of Jackson. And then as we step out of the way here, take a look at those winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings across North Carolina. Those will expire as we get into the evening and overnight tonight, and then we'll begin to see things clear up as we head into the day tomorrow. Here's a look at temperatures right now across the nation. As we looked at earlier, you can see most of the nation sitting at really cold spots right now. Currently 13 right now in Minneapolis. It's 27 in Kansas City, and then 44 as you head down to Dallas. Let's get in a little bit closer and go region by region this evening. You can see across the upper Midwest, those are where some of our colder readings are located. As you can see, Minneapolis and Green Bay currently sitting at 13. It's 20 in Des Moines, 27 in Kansas City. Across the Northeast right now, you can see also fairly cold conditions, especially once you get up into the upstate portions of New York and into New England right now, currently sitting at -3 right now in Caribou, Maine. And then as we get down farther to the south, that cold air filtering in all the way down to the Gulf Coast this evening, still hanging on to those 70s in Florida, but that front will begin to work its way farther to the south, so we'll even have to say bye to those in Miami. Then as we get out to the southwest, these are some of the other locations where we're still seeing a little bit of that warmth hanging around. It's currently 78 in Phoenix, 67 in Los Angeles, but once you move inland, and into those higher elevations, temperatures do begin to cool off a little bit. And then as we head up to the Pacific Northwest, also hanging on to the chill in those inland locations, and then a little bit milder as you get farther out closer to the coast. So let's take a look at the National Futurecast as we head through the next several days here. We're going to be watching this system here as it begins to move out of the way and off the East Coast this weekend. You can see that snow from eastern Tennessee into North Carolina. That will move out as we head into the evening and overnight hours, and then we'll see clearing skies tomorrow for those regions. High pressure will be dominating most of the country, so we'll see the sinking and stable air allowing for fairly nice conditions. And then here comes our next system right here, currently moving in on the coast of California. That will provide our next opportunity for rain as we get into this weekend, and especially on Sunday. You can see we're still hanging on to those pretty nice conditions as we head into Friday evening, and then most of the day Saturday looks pretty good as well. For the exception of the southwest down here, we'll be looking at a little bit of rain coming in. And then you can see as we get into Saturday evening, notice how that rain becomes more widespread across the desert southwest, and then that will eventually become a Southern Plains and Texas issue as we head into Sunday. So here's a look at your forecast highs for tomorrow. I'm going to step out of the way so everyone can get their look here. You can see most of the nation looking at pretty cold conditions up around the Great Lakes, and then a little bit milder down to the southwest, but in general, looking at below average temperatures. Here's a look now at your extended outlook. This is for Little Rock, Arkansas. Over the next several days, you can see we'll start out pretty chilly this weekend, and then Saturday will begin to warm up a little bit, and then that system will begin to move in Sunday night into Monday with a chance of rain, and then warmer as we head into early next week on Monday, and then temperatures falling back behind another front on Wednesday and Thursday.
Thanks so much, Trey. Now let's take a look at tonight's trivia question. Which of the following is not something we use to forecast a mountain windstorm? Is it A, strong cross-section geostrophic winds greater than 15 meters per second, B, warm advection and positive vorticity advection, C, stable layer near or just above the mountaintop, or D, an asymmetric mountain? Benji, this was definitely on my exam earlier, and I'll tell you, I know the answer. But we'll have that answer coming up right after this. Now let's take a look at the week ahead with Trey. Trey?
Well, across the state this evening right now, as we talked about earlier, most of the nation, or most of Iowa looking at clear conditions. It is cold out there as well. You can see a few clouds off towards the west. Coming up in just a minute, I'll talk about your weekend forecast, which does include a warm-up, and we'll also take a look at rain and snow chances for next week. All that and more right after this. Welcome back. Let's take a look at the current conditions right now across the state. As we alluded to earlier, clear skies are really the dominant theme as a high-pressure system is in control of our weather. We do have a few clouds you can see out to the west between Sioux City and Carroll, but most of the state looking at pretty clear conditions, and it is cold out there this evening as well. Let's take a look at your temperatures right now. You can see it's currently 19 in Ames, 20 in Des Moines. As you head up farther to the north, though, 15 in Waterloo, 10 in Mason City, and in Decorah sitting at the chilly spot right now at 5 degrees. But the good news is if you're tired of the cold, a warm-up is in store as we head into this weekend. Let's take a look at those wind speeds right now. So you can see winds are not too bad, so we're not looking at too bad of a wind chill factor this evening, but generally right now beginning to move out of the south and southwest, and that is around a surface high pressure, and that surface high will begin to move off towards the east, and the clockwise flow around that will begin to bring some warmer air up from the south tomorrow, and you'll really notice that as we head into Saturday. Let's take a look at the wind chill values right now across the state. As you can see, really not too bad of a wind chill factor this evening due to those very light winds. A little bit colder up to the north right now, Mason City with the cold wind chill of 0. Now let's take a look at this national satellite and radar picture. As we alluded to earlier, high pressure in control across much of the midsection of the country, but this is going to be our next system to watch right now. You can see it's currently off the coast of California. That will begin to move to the east as we head into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, I believe most of the energy and most of the forcing with that system will stay down to the south, so we're not going to really see too much action here in central Iowa, but if you are traveling down to the south, you'll want to be mindful of those rain chances, especially as we get into Sunday and Monday of next week. Now let's take a look at the futurecast for the next 24 to 48 hours. You can see really not too much to look at here, maybe a few passing high clouds, but in general, looking at clear skies with that high pressure in control. You can see a few more clouds begin to move in here as we head into the day on Saturday, but overall a fairly nice pattern shaping up. If you have outdoor plans this weekend, it will be a good weekend to get out and travel, and you can see the clouds really begin to filter in a little bit more on Sunday. Notice there's more cloud cover, especially from the central part of the state down to the south with that system, but overall most of the precipitation with this system will stay down to the south. You can see that clearly here on our extended futurecast. Notice here all the rain spreading from central Kansas east into Missouri as we head into Sunday night and Monday of next week, maybe grazing far southeastern portions of the state, but overall this system should stay away from us and just may see a few high thin clouds. And then we're going to be watching another system coming in from the northwest as we head into next week. Now I do want to talk about this very briefly. Some of the models have shown a much stronger storm system for next Tuesday and Wednesday, and some have not. So there's a lot of disagreement right now. So you'll just want to stay up to date with Iowa State weather, and if anything does happen, we will certainly let you know about that. Here's a look at the forecast highs for tomorrow. You can see in general a much better day than we saw today. You can see much of the state right now, or for tomorrow, will be up into the 40s, a little bit warmer, even closer to 50 back along the Missouri River Valley tomorrow afternoon with those strong southerly winds. Your forecast for tonight in Ames, 13 for below under mostly clear skies, winds out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Friday, 43 degrees under mostly sunny skies, winds out of the southwest at 10 to 15. And then here's a look at your extended outlook for the Iowa State and Ames area. Over the next several days, we will see that warm up. You can see we'll push and likely reach 50 on Saturday, 49 on Sunday. And then there comes that snow chance as we head into Monday and Tuesday. That could go up, so just we'll monitor that very carefully, and then turning colder as we head into the middle of next week.
I'm glad to see those warmer temperatures in the forecast. Looking back at our trivia question, which of the following is not something we use to forecast a mountain windstorm? Is it A, cross-section geostrophic winds greater than 15 meters per second? B, warm advection and positive vorticity advection? Is it C, stable layer near or just above the mountaintop? Or D, asymmetric mountain? Got any ideas, Trey?
Wow, that is a challenging question. I got to really think on that.
It was a challenging one for me too. It was actually on our exam this morning in 407. I think it's kind of a tricky one. I think it's B because it shouldn't be warm air advection. It should be cold air advection because it provides that sinking motion.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with B.
I'll go with B as well.
Let's see what the answer is. Yeah, he tried to trick us there because it is. Oh no, it's negative vorticity advection too. Yeah. Well, thanks for that trivia question, Benji. He's always out there making difficult
trying to trick us up.
I know, but the forecast, again, looking really nice this weekend.
Yeah,
saw 50 degrees in your forecast and everything, so hopefully some people will make it outside, finally get some sun, a little bit
it'll
of
be a good
taste of
weekend
spring.
to do that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that concludes tonight's show. Please be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You can find every show under our YouTube, under our Size channel. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on Tuesday.